Hey guys, and thanks for listening to another episode of the Scene to Screen Film Podcast. I'm Kieran, and this is my review of Disney Pixar's Coco. Unfortunately, AJ hasn't had a chance to see Coco yet, which is kind of why I'm solo in this review, but I'm still excited to talk about this film and kind of share my thoughts and opinions with you guys. So just to get straight into it, for those of you that don't already know, Coco is the latest animated film from Disney Pixar. And Pixar made a lot of animated films that have become classics. We've got Toy Story, The Incredibles, and now we have Coco, which is a really different film for the studio because it's not set in some kind of fantasy world or a typical American setting. It's set in Mexico during the Day of the Dead festival. The film follows this kid Miguel, who despite his family's footloose kind of style ban on music, dreams of becoming a famous musician just like his idol and his kind of the person he looks up to, Ernesto de la Cruz. In Miguel's journey to prove that he has what it takes to prove to his family that he can be this kind of musician, he manages to get stuck in the land of the dead, where he comes face to face with a few of his dead ancestors, as well as a trickster skeleton called Hector. And from there, Hector and Miguel kind of set off on this adventure, which I'm not going to spoil because this is a spoiler-free review and I want you guys to go into this film with nothing kind of ruined or spoiled for you whatsoever. So I'll just move on to the review. And the first thing that I kind of want to talk about is the way that Coco represents Mexican culture. And I'm not going to pretend to be kind of any expert or anything like that, but from everything that I've heard and everything that people have been telling me, Coco does a really great job of capturing Mexican culture and representing the Day of the Dead and kind of generally nailing the representation of death in Mexican culture. And I think in order to be like a worthwhile film, especially a worthwhile kids film, it was really important for the film to get that representation right. And from beginning to end, the film really is immersed in Mexican culture. And that also gives Coco a very unique and really cool kind of visual style. Literally every frame of animation bursts with colour. It doesn't matter if you're looking at a lantern flowing away in the background or these mind-blowing bridges that connect our world with the next. And then there's the stunning land of the dead. There's never a moment that doesn't capture your attention and kind of set you off on this adventure in this kind of wondrous land of magic. If I was to judge this film solely on the animation and the visual style, I'd say that Coco is probably Pixar's most impressive film yet, which is saying a lot looking at the massive collection of animated films that Pixar has delivered over the years. And those visuals provide a really solid backdrop for Miguel's adventure, which is equally impressive. Like I said before, I'm not going to spoil the film, but I'll just say that I think Pixar and the directors Lee Unkrich and Adrian Molina, I think they've found a really cool and emotional way to tell this story that not only gives kids something to watch and think about, but it also gives older members of the audience something to enjoy and kind of reflect on. Just like every Pixar film, this film is imbued with some kind of life lesson and ideal. Toy Story made us appreciate friendship, Monsters Inc. showed us that laughter is stronger than fear, and Finding Nemo kind of taught us to keep swimming, even if life kind of sucks. And in many ways, Coco shares a lot of those same themes, but for me, the film and the point of the film is infinitely more powerful. With Coco, Pixar is kind of telling us to never forget what's right in front of us, and to cherish family, both alive and dead. And I think that that's an incredibly important thing for young kids to learn and think about. But moving past the kids as well, I think this theme and this kind of point and this lesson is something that a lot of adults could do with thinking about as well. Unfortunately, Coco kind of falls into the same trap that a lot of Pixar films do, because as much as I love each of their films, minus the car films, I think Pixar films do often share a lot of similarities. Like, you always have the adorable animal sidekick and an emotional twist, and at various points throughout this film, it does kind of seem like the directors have gone through with kind of a checklist and ticked off everything that comes in a typical Pixar film. Again, I don't really want to spoil anything too specific, but there is a twist in about the third act that I think a lot of people, kids included, will be able to figure out in like the first half hour of the film. And it's not that this twist, and knowing that this twist coming kind of, it doesn't ruin the film in any way, but it sure as hell would have been a lot more enjoyable if this twist came as more of a surprise. On a final note, I just want to talk briefly about the music, because with a film like Coco, the music is really integral and important, and you kind of need to get it right. Luckily, Michael Giacchino's score works perfectly for Miguel's adventure. Each piece of music is somehow able to capture the tone of this film, and it brings every frame of animation to life. Music plays a large role in the narrative, and Miguel as a character is very connected to music. So without a score and without music that perfectly captures that magic and captures that essence of this storytelling, Coco could have been a disaster, but thanks to Giacchino's score and the music that comes into this film, it really works and ends up enhancing the storytelling. Okay guys, that's pretty much it for my review of Pixar's Coco. If you've seen the film, be sure to let me know what you thought in the comments section below. You can listen to the Scene to Screen podcast on iTunes, we're on SoundCloud, and you can listen on YouTube. So make sure you head over to your favourite platform and subscribe, like, share, do all that kind of stuff. And if you're a fan of the show, it would be awesome if you told your friends about us. And again, I just want to thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.